The Nigerian National Assembly, upon resumption from its 5-week end-of-the-year recess, highlighted areas it intends to concentrate on and fast-track in the next 6 months. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, after a closed-door meeting with other members of the Red Chamber, presented a 6-point agenda.
Senate further resolved to fast-track the passage of 1 Petroleum Industry Bill, amendments of the Electoral Act, 3, power sector reform to provide more energy to Nigerians, 4, solid minerals development strategies, and 5, agricultural enhancement across Nigeria.
The oil and gas sector is Nigeria's main source of foreign exchange earnings and is contributing significantly to revenue generation. Yet, for over 4 decades, this sector has operated under outdated and often misinterpreted laws. The Ninth Senate, however, said it is more determined to start work on the Petroleum Industry Bill immediately.
The National Assembly needs to start work on the Petroleum Industry Bill immediately. The previous attempts in the 6th, 7th, and 8th Assembly sessions to pass the bills failed. This Senate should learn from the mistakes that mitigated against the successful passage of the bills. We need to break the jinx. We must avoid the pitfalls that work against the passage of the previous bills.
The Petroleum Industry Bill, when passed, is expected to encourage investment into the oil and gas sector in the economy. The Senate will amend the Electoral Act after 3 attempts that have failed, as President Muhammadu Buhari declined assent to the Electoral Amendment Bill, citing drafting issues among other reasons for rejecting the bill.
The National Assembly starts work to effect amendments in those areas of our electoral processes and procedures that pose some real challenges to free, fair, and credible elections in our previous elections.
The latest bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010 and for all the related matters 2019 has scaled second reading in the Senate. The bill was sponsored by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Omo-Agege, and co-sponsored by Senator Abubakar Kyari, and was read for the first time on the floor of the Upper Legislative Chamber on October 29, 2019. The Senate reveals it will collaborate with the executive on power, solid minerals, and agric bills.
Before we went on our recess, the Senate held roundtable discussions on the power, agriculture, and solid mineral sectors with a view to identifying the challenges militating against the optimum performance by those sectors. The reports of the discussions are ready and will be presented to the Senate by the appropriate committees. The reports will be debated in plenary and necessary resolutions will be taken. Ultimately, there will be shared responsibilities between the legislature and the executive on the way forward to address the various bottlenecks.
This move is necessary as the power, solid minerals, and agricultural sectors are underperforming despite having the potential to create an alternative revenue source for the country. The alarming state of insecurity also made the to-do list of the upper chamber of the National Assembly.
There is urgent need for paradigm shift and reform of the architecture and structure of our security systems. Equally important is citizen participation and collaboration in providing security. In this regard, the Senate will engage the executive arm of government to discuss the implementation of the recently launched National Security Strategy NSS 2019.
The National Security Strategy NSS 2019, which is due for review after every 5 years, will emphasize human security to enhance the social well-being of the citizenry. The new strategy is aimed to tackle transactional organized crimes such as terrorism, illegal oil bunkering, crude oil theft, illegal fishing, kidnapping, hostage-taking, armed robbery, cybercrime, and smuggling. It is also to address the issues of money laundering, financial crimes, drug peddling, human trafficking, piracy, environmental pollution, and proliferation of small arms and light weapons. The Senate President Ahmed Lawan also revealed that the Senate is fully behind community policing.
For a long time, major stakeholders in the country, in the security of our nation and police authorities, appear to achieve consensus on the necessity of the introduction of community policing in the country. The Senate is going to pursue the implementation of community policing vigorously. To this end, the police authorities will be invited to brief and update the Senate on the progress made so far.
Boko Haram terrorists and bandits reign supreme in the country to the detriment of the common Nigerian. It is hoped that the promises of the lawmakers do not remain a well-written statement on paper.